What's going on, guys? Fearmaky here, bringing you another video. Let's get into it. Let's roll deep and keep grinding out there, guys. Let's dive into the video. Let's go. What is going on, fellas? Guess who's back? We're back at it again, man. Yeah. We are on the local editor, man. Courtesy of Hametsu. And you know what we're about to do, right? I know right now, as of this moment, they have completely destroyed the samurai class. Maybe it's a unintentional change. Maybe it's a bug with the server. I'm not sure. I'll be reaching out to Wooksy and trying to get his feedback on it and what the intention with that is. But for now, this is all about the Marauder, man. All about the Marauder, guys. We are doing a little bit different. Last season we went with Marauder pretty much, and Lancer and Amazon last, but we're shaking things up a bit. Not to forget though, I will be creating the season 11 meta build review, so that way we can all see together on how the classes pair up and how they're doing with the old builds. I've had a lot of questions like that already, and what I'll do is I'll record a session on all 17 classes with the previous meta builds, and we'll look at what the damage potential is. And really, as a learning thing for all of us, this whole season 12 has been about survival 100%. The survivability has gone down drastically, and I will be having a separate guide on what we need to do to increase your survivability and deal more damage. But the meta has definitely shifted from going all out raw glass cannon damage to a little bit more survivability, because if you don't, you are going to die, guaranteed. So with that being said, the Marauder is absolutely kicking ass and taking names, man. Absolutely kicking ass and taking names. Last season we went with the Breath of the Undying weapon, along with the Gladiator's Wall and the Gladiator Skullet, which was the Juggernaut Rampart set, wearing the boots, the helm, and the shield to get the bonus. But this time around we're changing things up a bit, and which I'll be showing you guys when we get into the items here. But what's interesting to note here is what's happening with the meta for the follower. I kept the same with using the Ranger Mercenary, and kept the same items on it with the Poison Ivy, along with the Shroud of Elements, along with the Helm of the Dominator. But the information I want to drop on you guys that is extremely hot off the press, something I just discovered myself. Maybe it's unintentional, and by the time the video, well, by the time they see the video, they'll probably fix it. But supposedly, right, break stacks are not supposed to stack anymore. You're only supposed to have one or the other, and multiple classes can't stack it. But you know something? I don't think it's working as intended, man. It's not working as intended, because your follower alone will apply the elemental break from the Shroud of Elements. And what that will do is, as he's attacking, it's applying the break, which increases your elemental damage, which is all element damage, and it's 2 stacks. It gets to 50%. But if you have the Satan Chalice and the Satan Precious Neck, or any of the set pieces, period, right, it will also apply the Armor Curse set bonus buff, which gives your attacks a 25% chance to apply the armor break on attack. The thing is, you don't have to attack. As long as your follower is attacking for you, it will apply the break itself. So now your follower is applying not only elemental break, it's also applying armor break. Of course, if you attack yourself, you'll also apply the armor break, which is just an added bonus on top of it. So I don't know what's going on here with it. I hope they get it together, man, but right now we're running with it. You know, it's, I don't see why you would not use it. So to dive back into the video here, We went with the Satan Precious, as you guys have seen there. We went with the Juggernaut Helmet, the Satan Chalice, the Kogura Sumaru weapon, the Juggernaut Glorious Plate, the Assassin's Mitts, the Monkey Skin Belt, the Juggernaut Boots, the Demon Eye Trusty Ring, and the bottle of sake. I'm not going to get into all the crazy details on each piece like we did last season. If you guys want a detailed breakdown of, you know, the potions, the rings, and all that, and the following matters, you can always go back to season 11 videos and skip to the section on the mercenary, as well as, you know, each items on what we did. But we have 17 classes to cover, and I want to get these builds out to you guys. So I apologize for not being so thorough. Also, I cannot be spending 15 hours again, you know, doing builds again. We already have that experience and that knowledge from season 11, so we're going to apply that here to season 12. But in a nutshell, we went with Juggernaut helmet. The reason for that, I mean the set, the reason for that is every attack unleashes additional projectiles that hooks enemies, deals 50% increased damage if the target is isolated. The targets will be isolated because we're spamming Chain Trap, which has the chance to pull everything in, stunning and damaging them. We also are throwing the Reterius Net, which stuns the mobs as well. Alright, and then we have the Big Boom just as a filler damage, but the bulk of your damage comes from Force Overwhelming. So when we went to our talent tree that I showed you guys, we dumped all 20 points into Heavy Ball. We dumped 20 points into Wrecking Ball. Heavy Ball, Juggernaut's attacks have a chance to unleash a big ball spike that deals more damage and moves slower. Wrecking Ball, each enemy that the Heavy Ball passes through increases its damage. And then we maxed out Force Overwhelming. Each attack becomes a Heavy Ball, which temporarily, and additional points increases the amount of heavy balls. So you go from 1 heavy ball to 3 actually. And with insane attack speed at 6 attack speed per second, which is what we get with the Kogura Sumaru buff proccing, and also with the relics that we have giving us the added attack speed, it's absolutely insane. You can definitely gem and rune in attack speed to reach the breakpoints that you want, or you could also go all out physical runes as well. But that's what we went with. We also dumped the rest of the 20 points in Rend Flesh because of the dot bleed damage. It's just free damage and it helps you clear the trash. As well as if you have additional dots taking the bleeds along with your attacks, the damage just ramps up. From what we tested, this is courtesy of Marky as well as feedback on the gear. It's just right now for us the best speed clears. We also toned down the Wormhole from 500 to 200 because naturally they increase the mob's health in the season. So the scaling is way higher now. The damage also obviously is higher. So we're not going to be able to clear 500 at hero level 200. And naturally, just by you playing, by the time you reach Wormhole 500, you're going to be well above hero level 200. That is a fact. So we're putting you at the worst possible scenario at hero level 200 to clear Wormhole 300. But you certainly can. We did try Wormhole 500. We were able to spawn the boss on time, but we were not able to kill him. I didn't put in that many attempts, but if somebody there is pushing their class and pushing the Marauder to the limit, you certainly can. Absolutely can. But the more hero levels you obtain, the better you're going to be. Now, one other thing to note here, the hero levels this time around, which I will be doing a separate guide on it for you guys. The key talents to take in on hero levels is Power of Life as well as Extreme Stamina. Putting points into both of these talents, one thing that you need to notice, it's going to increase your life by a shit ton, as well as increase the life of your mercenary, giving him huge survivability. And if you're having a hard time surviving, use the melee mercenary because he'll apply a shield to you, making your survivability go way higher. Again, I will be doing an in-depth guide on that, on how to survive and how to increase your efficiency on Inferno difficulty and all that. But for now, I just wanted to throw that out there to you guys. This is a meta build. This is a meta guide. So the guys coming after these builds, after this information, already knows probably 90% of this stuff, right? But if you don't know the trick about increasing your survivability, if you're having a hard time surviving, dump your points into Power of Life, into Extreme Stamina after you've reached the breakpoints that you want. If you're trying to go for max CDR, cooldown reduction, max that out. If you're trying to reach a breakpoint on attack speed, max that out. Okay, after that, you definitely want to put the rest of your points into Power of Life and Extreme Stamina. And once you find a good comfort level, then you dump the rest of it into Strength. That's what's going to give you consistency throughout the season. If you're trying to go all glass cannon like we did last season, you're gonna have a really hard time. And if you're pushing hard, high wormhole levels, that's really not going to be good for you. If you spend 6 minutes in the wormhole, then you die to the boss. Now you wasted a colossal amount of time. Right now, as you can see here on the screen, we did test Sung Lee, and we did it on difficulty 1. We also did it on difficulty 5. And I think with this patch update today that they had on the server, they stealth nerfed Sung Lee, because when I tried it on my samurai, and I have footage of that, he had 104 billion health, if I remember correctly. And doing it now on the Marauder, on difficulty 5 later, as you'll see, he only has 4 billion health. So they lowered his health by like 100 billion. And also, I was one shot by it. Obviously, with the recent nerfs from the samurai, there's absolutely no way at the health threshold that Sung Lee had that we're going to be able to kill it. So I do not recommend you trying that on Inferno 5 unless we know for sure that the nerf is in fact true. A lot of things have been changed in the last couple of days, so that's why I've been hesitant to release guides and release information, because by the time I release it to you guys, it's going to be inaccurate. It's going to be changed. But I know I can trust in you guys to make sure you leave it in the comments below if something has changed or something, you know, got updated and it's not working the way it is now. We can certainly change it. You can pause the video and go for the relic list. The relic list is pretty much the same that we did for season 11. We just went with all attack speed relics, and with homing shots and horned mask, the 2-time relics, everything, the same basic relics that will give you the most amount of damage that you possibly can get in a melee character. So that's, you know, that was our idea. Right here I'm searching for another void portal at Inferno 5 just so we could test Sung Lee out again, and as you'll see once we go through the video, we make quick work of him. But anyways guys, I will be releasing meta guides for all the other classes. I do apologize that I did not spend as much time on the class and going through the build as I did with the season 11. But if you guys do want to get more information on how everything works, you can refer back to my season 11 guides. I will be linking below the HeroSiege wiki spreadsheet, which is like the Bible now. In order for you to craft your rune words, all the information is on there. If you want to find out what a set bonus does, all the information is on there as well. They're being really good about updating that HeroSiege spreadsheet wiki. And you know, it's amazing. It's a breath of fresh air, because that will allow me to get content out for you guys faster, and that way you guys can pretty much, you know, fill in the blanks if you're uncertain about something, like how to craft a Kogura Sumaru. Oh, okay, Maki said it's on the spreadsheet. You know, what does the set bonus do again for the Juggernaut? Okay, it's on the spreadsheet. I'm gonna go to it. You know, what runes are doing what? It's on the spreadsheet. So everything is on there, guys. Obviously, the experience that I have and the information that I'll bring to you guys verbally on the video hopefully will give you a lot more insight, but we chose to go with this. One key thing I want to note to you guys as well is a lot of people have been asking me, how are you casting your abilities so fast and so efficiently, etc. The trick is simple, guys. I will be doing a guide on this as well. Like, I have to put this on a completely separate video. I've been asked this question since season like 9, or 10 for sure, in the White Mage video. And I have it all over multiple videos on what I do. But I'm going to do just a video on auto casting and binding abilities on HeroSiege to help you guys. But if those that want to know now right away, you just bind your keys to your numlock keys. You do have to have a keyboard that has numlock keys. You bind it to that, and then you hold the button down and then press numlock again, and it will auto cast those abilities. I do that for my skills 1, 2, 3, and then my right mouse button, I'll do that on a skill that I spam because I like to hold my right mouse button down. My left mouse button is still auto attacks. I do not recommend binding an ability to it. I know some people do, but sometimes the games can be wonky. I just like to have my left click as free as possible to just auto attack, because a lot of the talents and skills are based off auto attack procs. So I don't want nothing to interfere with it, because sometimes you might, bind it together with another skill and it might interfere with something and it might not even go off. I think one prime example, right, would be the Paladin with the Blessed Hammers, with the hammer build. You can't auto attack and cast the hammers at the same time. So that would, mess things up completely. It would either do one or the other. It just won't work. Keep it simple. Believe me, a lot of things in the game right now is a little all over the place. So the simpler you keep things, the better results you're going to have. Because sometimes you might end up doing too much and hindering your damage and your ability casts until they, polish everything up, which they will be. And I'm sure in season 13, which is when they plan on doing the expansion and the overhaul, things are going to be really different than what it is now. I really hope so. For those asking questions, why didn't we go with the Sungli potion? I did test it. One attempt, it was like 1.5 billion, and then all the other tests was the same exact damage. And the madness, momentary madness buff didn't do anything. Didn't increase the damage at all. But you guys certainly can use that potion. And honestly, right now in the season, it's unrealistic to go after that potion. People are selling it for millions. And with the game being in the servers being so unstable, you don't know if you're going to get disconnected or not. It's unrealistic to get this potion and to use it to make your build really effective. And honestly, I would not spend 2 million rubies on that potion to get the same results almost. Another question, I asked myself, why not go with the brawler mitts, the new gloves from the seasonal theme from Sung Lee? It's completely broken. It doesn't work. In order for the glove to work, you need to unequip your weapon. Therefore, you're going to be unequipping the most powerful weapon in the game, in my opinion, which is the Kogura Sumaru. And on top of that, the striker mechanic ability does not work. I'm really upset, I'm really upset, man. You guys should have tested this. We can't do it all. The community can't do it all. I can't do it all. But the basic thing, like the seasonal theme, the items that come from the seasonal boss, those need to work. If nothing else works, and I've said this last season, you have to have your seasonal theme work, man. The items coming from it has to work. So anyways, guys, if you guys have those questions or comments, I tested it, and it doesn't work. So anyways, hopefully it works by the time you guys see this video. This is March 17th. I will be dropping a video soon, so you guys can get a jump start on the Marauder class. But anyways, thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to comment, like, hit that subscribe button. You guys have been amazing, man. Roll deep and keep grinding. Woo!